Morning, YouTube. Um, Gonna jump on, make a quick video. First of all, I'm still smoking my little bent cob with bamboo shake. I did that little brass piece. I'm not sure if I really care for it, but thought it needed something. And in it, I actually have some Colt Blood Red Moon, and making a video today because we live in a cooler climate like here where I'm at. Every springtime you start to come during the winter you put on weight. You just do because you're not outside and you're not doing things. You become less active. And so usually every springtime either me or my wife will talk about maybe getting more active, and which I've been noticing I've been putting on weight the last couple of years. Before I left a previous job a couple of years ago. I worked for a company that inspected utility poles, and it was nothing for us to try and work 12, 10, 12, 13 hours a day. A lot of that is because the job required a lot of travel out of state, and you just wanted to get home either on the weekend or the sooner you got your map done, you got to come home for a while. So there'd be times I'd spend weeks away from home. And through the course of that job, I actually dropped quite a bit of weight, and I used to be a little more active when I played softball. But over the last couple of years, I haven't had time to play any sports really, since either starting a business, and I was working 3 jobs at one time to get things going, and that kept the weight off. But I slowly started to gain it back, but anywho, I'll move on. So the problem for me is, for working out, I can't just do it for the sake of doing it. There has to be a goal, even though the goal should be getting healthier or losing weight and getting healthier in the process. Should be a goal enough for me, but it's not. I have to have a clear goal. It has to be some kind of something. And it's trying to find something to make a goal out of it. But here's a couple tips for you guys. If you're like me and you need not necessarily if you need a reason or you're goal oriented, there's a couple things that I do. I know that makes me more active, and not necessarily tricking myself, but I don't realize I'm actually getting active or doing something. The first being if you guys ever heard of geocaching, what that is, in a nutshell, it's you use the GPS like on your phone, or if you have a handheld device, and people hide geocaches everywhere. You'd be surprised, even in your area, where people hide these. And it'll give you the coordinates, the GPS coordinates, and you have to go out and you have to find them. And they're not just in plain sight. You have to kind of search around, because they'll hide them a little bit. Even though you got the coordinates right, they might be like in a hollow log, or they have micro ones that are really small and magnetic, and they'll hide them under benches, maybe at parks, or inside tubes at a sign. And that's really fun. I know there's a group of us that do it in the summer. My wife, and a couple of friends will go out, and what they have little containers, various sizes, and they have a little sheet, and you sign your name or whatever your handle is on the geocaching, and you sign your name, the date, and you put the piece of paper back in there. And they have a website where you can go on and you can see for your area, people leave messages, or you can talk with other people. And it's just a lot of fun. And the bigger geocaches have stuff in them. Little trinkets like stuff you'd get out of a gumball machine sometimes. And the thing is, you can take something out of some of these geocaches that have stuff. You can take something out, but you got to replace it with the same amount of monetary value. Nothing ever is really all that. Like I said, it's mostly bubblegum machine stuff or keychains. My thing is always leave a poker chip in them. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time we don't even take stuff out of them. We just put little trinkets in them. A lot of times they'll do it in points of interest, like in parks. No doubt, if you're by a park or you have a park in your area, you have a geocache somewhere there. And gosh, that's a lot of fun. I mean, especially I know my stepson and I, when me and my wife had started dating years ago, and he was younger. Oh, he used to have a blast. We used to go out geocaching all the time. So if you have kids, they'll have a blast. Even the really young ones, because they might not understand how to use the GPS, because it'll tell you if you're getting closer or further away from the coordinates you're trying to find. But once you find it, you get to the coordinates with it, because it's only accurate within a certain amount of feet round. And once you're in that kind of circle, you can have them look for it, and they have a blast just trying to hunt it down. Next one I used to get out a lot, actually, is a game called Ingress. And that game is more for any of you nerdy pipers out there. If you enjoy, like, kind of video games. I'm not a big video game player. If I do, I usually go more vintage, more with the Nintendo and stuff like that. But it's a huge game of capture the flag. But it takes place out in real life. Just like the geocaching, they try to put them in places of interest. And like the parks that are by me, they put, if it's a point of interest like a park, they'll put what they call a portal. And there's 2 teams. This is a really simplified version of it. And you can either be blue or you can be green. And green, through the phone you can play the game. And you'll see the portal and you can attack it and claim it for your team. And the other team wants to capture, all the portals too for, the blue side if you're green, or vice versa. And that'll get you out walking too. I know there's quite a few around the parks here, and I know last summer a friend of mine showed it when he came home for a wedding, because he lives in Korea, and he showed it to us. And I would do a big walk around every day to these portals, because either you can attack them, take them over your team, or you can do what you call hacking to get items to... That's how you get stuff to attack portals and turn them into yours. Like I said, it's oversimplification of the game, but those are the 2 that really will get you out going, gives you a goal, so you don't realize you're doing it. Like if you're playing Ingress, you just want to walk around to the portals and see some of these places of interest. Geocaching is just a blast too. Geocaching to me is a little more... It's fun. I like it a little bit more than Ingress at times, because there's a little group of us that go and try to find these little stashes of stuff. So if you're like me and you need a goal, or you need to do something to get active rather than just running for the sake of running, not because something's on fire or someone's chasing you, just to get out and walk around, it makes the trip or the walking a little more enjoyable, because you have an end goal. You're either trying to find something or whatever it would be. So hopefully that helps anybody that's like me and needs a reason to get out and be a little more active. So that is all I got on this chilly rainy day in Wisconsin. You guys behave and be good to each other.